We all question how do we end up in this place as an addict? You know, how do I end up being addicted to anything? There was a day that came that I had nowhere to go but up because my life had hit the bottom. For the first time in my life, when I was 38 years old, I admitted that I had a problem, that I had an addiction to pornography that I couldn't control. Well, for me, the stage was set at a very young age with being sexually abused, having some physical abuse, but then exposed to pornography at such a young age really distorted my thinking. I was afraid to ever admit that I had such a problem as a Christian. I mean, it's just not something that you talk about. And it certainly wasn't anything anybody else was talking about. So as a result, I thought I was the only one in the world that had the problem. You know, that I was battling this demon that I could not control. And it took me to a place of shame. I found freedom from the addiction by seeking help. The role that God plays in my recovery is really everything. Anything else that happened is a support role to God. I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. The power that can actually raise the dead. That power exists in God, but how can I tap into that power, His divine power in my life? And that's the journey that God has had me on. The book that I've written is Stand Firm. And it is a Bible-based guide to recovery. It's a roadmap, and I intended it to be a map that someone else could follow. When I entered recovery 24 years ago, I didn't have a map to follow, and it was difficult for me to find that way. But I wrote down and I journaled those things, and I've put it together in a journey very similar to the journey that Israel took from the bondage under the Egyptian Pharaoh to the Promised Land. It was a trip and it was a journey. It took 40 years. The most important thing for me when readers open my book and read it is that they'll find honesty on my behalf, that I'm telling you the truth about my life and telling you the truth about the journey that God has led me on. And I hope that you discover that this great God, the creator of this environment right now that I'm sitting in, is alive. And He is searching to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on their behalf.